So, Dawnstar wants to talk to me again. Let me just check for loot. What the?
Well, look who we have here. There's no princess to save you this time.
You don't
Do
understand.
you think we'd forget? You can't humiliate us and just walk away.
The princess saved you.
We'll teach you to insult a guard of the Imperial City.
The princess didn't save me. The
Legendary
princess
strike.
saved you.
Longsword!
Morons. Do you understand now? How can anyone be that stupid? Bookstand. The physical universe a rebuttal. Scholar Xiao Sheng has once again missed the central point of the philosopher's argument. We do not wish to stall development, nor do we seek to stop people from learning. Philosophers see the work of the divine in the physical world and oppose those who defy tradition only because they find those customs inconvenient or outdated. Learning and respect for the past need not be mutually exclusive. We seek only to learn in a way that does not dishonor the celestial beings that give us our very lives. Sure. Alright, Dawnstar, what do you have to say?
What did you want to talk about?
You have the arrow on your head.
I was thinking about the Imperial City. It is such an expansive place with a great deal of history, but my gift lets me see other things as well. Glimmers of the past.
Okay. What kinds of things have you seen?
It is deep and layered. The lives of people spent in the shadow of the wall. Working, dying, never leaving. All their experiences have left marks upon it. The stones echo with their passing. Sometimes I can almost hear their voices.
Why haven't you mentioned this before?
I get hints, but nothing that seems useful. They are visions that are possible, or that have possibly been. They are very strong in the city, but they overlap as well.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
It has history, ages of history, and much of it is covered in blood and misery. And not all of that is in the distant past. There are dark currents I cannot see clearly. The threads of fate are woven in the city, or will be. Does that make sense? I don't know anymore.
You are losing your mind. Have you seen anything that can be of help?
Any spirits that can speak clearly are asking for help themselves. The world is upside down. It seems like there is so much more at stake than just our master's safety. I am worried, but I know you'll be able to set things right. Let's get going. I feel a chill.
You didn't make any sense at all, Dawnstar. You literally did not make any sense at all. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of voices in the city and they say things, but I can't hear what they are. Is it spooky? It's so spooky. And then she doesn't say anything specific. What are those things? Are those meant to be trees? Are those meant to be trees? That is the wackiest thing I've ever seen. Are those trees? Alright, what's going on back here? Scroll stand. You received the configuration of the snake. What? Sure. Scholar Dongao.
Welcome, friend. The lecture won't be starting for a little while, though your enthusiasm is appreciated.
Enthusiasm.
I wouldn't worry about seating. Those interfering philosophers had made sure that very few people will be attending the lecture.
I see. Can I ask some questions?
Certainly. We can't learn without asking questions. How can I help you today?
Can you, tell me about the Scholar's Garden?
Don't let the name fool you. There are fewer scholars here than you might think. We are far outnumbered by those obstinate philosophers. The philosophers believe that the gods dictate everything, from the rising of the sun to the changing seasons. If the summer ends too soon or too late, the gods must be angry. Of course, anyone who cares to look can see that the birds control the weather. I have noted with some accuracy that the birds predict the seasons.
Um, the birds predict the seasons, but it doesn't mean that they control the weather. Have you seen the foxes in heaven? Are you a furry? Really, how does that work?
I have a theory that the massive movements of birds in the autumn and spring actually cause the prevailing winds to change direction. When
No.
birds fly south just before autumn, they cause the winds to change. And we get cold air from the north until the spring, when the birds reverse the winds again. It's really quite simple, but just try telling that to one of the philosophers.
What is your lecture about?
I'm glad you asked. Today I will speak on my theories of cloud formation. That was my first major discovery, though it hasn't been widely accepted yet. The basic principles are really quite simple. I deduced after lengthy study that clouds are formed by the moisture escaping from our bodies.
That's close.
When the weather is cool, you can clearly see small clouds escaping from people's mouths. Similar clouds form on the skin of people working strenuously in the cold.
Yes, that's true.
These clouds of breath rise up and collect near the tallest peaks, where it is almost always cloudy. This was one of my finest discoveries.
It's close. Why do you mistrust the philosophers?
Don't get me wrong, I like most of the philosophers, but their strict adherence to aging traditions makes them very difficult to deal with.
Yes, I'm sure it does.
They're always preaching about peace and harmony. Really, we kill and subdue the creatures of this world in order that we can survive. Where's the peace in that?
That's right.
Can a man survive long enough without eating meat?
Yes.
What about the grains we use to make our bread, or the hides we use for any number of things? We consume constantly.
Well, that's true too.
Peace and harmony are wonderful ideals, but in nature only the strong survive, and they don't do it by being peaceful.
Actually, that's not true. It is completely untrue that only the strong survive, because like grass survives. Is grass strong? No, grass is just grass. Like worms. There are plenty of worms in the dirt. Are worms strong? No, they're just earthworms. You know what I mean? Snails, or like rats are not particularly strong. Fish are not particularly strong. It's actually the opposite. If you look at all the animals in the world, only very few are strong. The great majority are quite weak. Like insects make up the bulk of the biomass of the planet. And they're just tiny little things, and they're not very smart. They're just insects, right? So it's completely untrue that only the strong survive. In fact, the opposite is true. The vast majority of the living things on the planet are weak and flimsy and dumb and not smart. Interesting, isn't it? Like, there are a lot of worms in the ground. There are more ants in the world than humans, of course. Ants outnumber everything on the planet. And they're just ants. They're just ants. Can you tell me where to find the Inquisitor Recruiter?
What? That's quite a question. I'm not sure who told you, but I'd appreciate it if you would keep your voice down when asking those kinds of questions. Nobody here suspects me to be anything but an overzealous scholar, and I'd like to keep it that way. So you want to know about the recruiter? You have a flying machine, do you not? Yes, I know about that. Go back to the landing area and someone will meet you there.
Okay. Why should we meet there?
The location is public, yet relatively private. Common folk are not welcome on the landing area, so there will be no crowds to hide spies, or an ambush.
But my whole team is there. Literally, my entire gang is there. That's kind of an ambush. Alright.
He already knows, I'm sure. Now go, and I will not speak to you about this any further.
Okay.
Well, we got what we wanted. I just hope you know what you're getting into. We should head back to the Dragonfly and let the others know what's happening.
But I'm also going to do the arena. Should I do this first and then do the arena after? Does the arena close after I do this? Kick the jar! Get the money! Philosopher.
Come and learn about the ways of sagacious Tien. Free your body.
The physical universe, the scholar's hypothesis. To suggest that I, of all people, do not understand the significance or importance of the celestial beings is preposterous. I pay my tributes at the temple because I honor those who gave us our minds and our curiosity. Philosopher Jiang ignores the crux of the problem by hiding behind his arguments of divine belief. The scholars have made some recent discoveries, such as the way in which the clouds are formed, but the philosophers led by Jiang dismiss these theories without even hearing them out. How can we progress as a society if we refuse to accept new ideas and new concepts? The philosophers would have us cling to our traditions even at the cost of our own prosperity.
Body, mind, and spirit.
Sure. Okay, there's a guard. What is going on here? There's like a thing down here. Bookstand. The physical universe, a final word. The world that we live in is not as simplistic as philosopher Jiang would suggest in his treatise on the physical universe. His hypothesis regarding divine regulation of weather and seasons, though interesting, is nothing more than a children's tale made overly complicated. Recent research led by scholar Dong Gao has proven that our seasons and weather are much more than the careless whims of distant celestial beings. Our universe is made up of very real, very tangible components that can be carefully quantified and qualified. Sure. Bookstand. The Long Drought. The Long Drought stands as one of the worst periods in the Jade Empire's recent history. 10 years of scorching heat and little rainfall took their toll on even the prodigious reserves of the Empire's granaries. The sages predicted at least 3 more devastatingly dry years, while those in the Ministry of Harmony watched the death toll mount into the hundreds of thousands. Then Emperor Sun Hai declared that the drought was over, and somehow it was. Through the Emperor's divine will, green returned to our parched land. We've read this before, but we get experience for it anyway. Oh, that's the play. Let me come back to this, because there are other paths in the garden. Scholar Kong Yu?
I hope you're not here to pester me. I'm a very busy, important, and educated man, you know.
Oh, very educated. What sorts of studies keep you busy?
All manner of studies. The history of dramatic systems, applied theology, and, celestial integration. All of these are vital pursuits of knowledge. Not that you would understand such lofty matters.
Why don't you tell me more about the history of dramatic systems?
Well, you see, drama can be broken down into several systems, and I study the history of those systems over time. How they've changed, and that sort of thing.
Specifics, bro. Can you outline some of these systems for me?
Well, there's the new system, of course, but
good.
Everyone knows that. Then we have the old system, which, as you may surmise, is no longer in use.
This guy is really good.
That's a brief summary of my latest work, at any rate.
He's really good. How have they changed?
Oh, it's all very complex, and I really don't feel like describing it to you at any length. That's how you know I'm a scholar, you see. An unwillingness to share all the information I have.
Alright.
Too large a subject for your mind to comprehend, I'm sure.
Yes, it's very large. What a large subject you have. Celestial integration.
Celestial integration means just that. It's integrated. Celestially. Thus, the relationship between the heavens and earth is one of integration and, celestial.
Very good.
It's a very advanced field of research. It would take several lifetimes to understand it properly, which is why my position as a scholar is so irrefutable.
Because you have spent several lifetimes studying it. You're creative Yukong, aren't you?
Of course not! I'm... Ah, drat. This isn't working at all. How did you know?
Your studies were very convincing.
You're here to hunt me down, then. Lord Rento has it in for me, and I figured it would come to this.
What did you do?
I don't suppose running would do me any good.
No, that'll prove your guilt. How did someone of your skill manage to con a noble, anyway?
I was unjustly accused. I simply petitioned Lady Rento for some silver to support me as an actor. Patronage, it's called.
But you're lying.
She agreed.
Right now.
But her husband flew into a rage when he found out. And now I have a death sentence on my head.
Yes, you do.
It's not fair. And if you were a decent person, you'd help me get out of this city instead of taking me in. It's the only way I'll get clear of Lord Rento's wrath.
Do you have any proof that you're falsely accused? I should ask. What I really should do is ask the Lord if he has any proof that he was lied to.
You need more proof than my pathetic attempt to pose as a scholar? How about the fact that Lord Rento was out of town when I bilked him? Not that anyone but Lady Rento will confirm that for you. Still, it should be apparent that I'm not some great confidence man.
You tried. You tried to pretend to be a scholar. Okay.
We should go see Captain Sen right away if you're sure. Is now a fair time to go down to the gate to get me out of here?
Okay.
The only easy way out of this city is through the gate that Sen is guarding, and he's looking for me.
Yes, he is.
However, if I disguise myself as a mercenary and sneak past him, I might just get away. But you have to help me by distracting him. Just tell him that I've already escaped, and I'll get away just fine. I can't imagine what might go wrong.
You might be spotted as what might go wrong.
Citizen, I hear there is progress in the search for creative Yukong. A scholar ran out of the Scholar's Garden after talking to you. Tell me you have good news.
Shouldn't he give the money back? Like if he got some money out of the lady, whatever her name is, shouldn't he give it back? He left the city.
How did he get past me? He couldn't access a flyer. What is that man doing? Are you certain he's gone? Would a bit of silver jog your memory? What do you say?
No, he's gone.
Look at that tart swinging her hips for that mercenary. I can't see how Yukong
Are you
slipped past
serious?
us. Did he bribe one of my agents somehow? Well, the Imperial Army has more silver than some confidence man, if you take my meaning.
What could he possibly offer me? He's gone and there's no point catching him. That fumbling twit over there is your man is not worth covering for. Alright, well, I mean, he is a twit, so he's obviously not a big con man. He's gone.
I should arrest that accursed tourist. Look, you spoke to a nervous scholar, and now Yukong has suddenly disappeared. Suspicious. What if I offered you the normal bounty plus half? Would that change anything?
No, that would change nothing.
Well, if you say so. Despite Lord Rento's insistence to the contrary, I doubt he was a master criminal. Perhaps I'll just declare Yukong's bounty a dead matter. Well, that brings an end to our pursuit of two fiends. A shame I don't have more work for someone with your skills.
That gave me good karma. That gave me good reputation. Why would that give me good karma? Why would that give me morality points? I lied. And the guy didn't give his silver back. Alright, goodbye.
Of course. Thanks again for your help with those miscreants.
That guy. But apparently that was the good thing to do. Also, I can still talk to him. Innovation criminal.
I know little more than what the Honorable...
Oh, justified by their actions?
There is no such thing. If the Lotus is...
Alright, that should go.
Of course.
There's still an arrow on his head though, so I don't know if that's... Do I still need to talk to the lady before we're done? Meet the recruiter. Seek out execution's recruiter. Find the outlander. Win the first bronze match. Cither of Discord. Hunt the Viper. Alright, exit.